All right. Welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in the studio, joined by Randy Angston.
Hello, my friend. How are you doing today?
Great. Great day to be alive. Woke up on the right side of the ground today, so I'm feeling real good about life. We've got the Grow Summit coming up June 8th through 10th. Do not miss your opportunity to get tickets with the discount code GROWTH23 for a super low price on these tickets. Snag them while you can. You can check it out at growsummitaz.com. Okay. Got an easy one for you today. Got a great topic. You know, we've done this topic before, but it's been several hundred episodes ago, and I'm certain you probably forgot all about it. Right. However, this topic just came up in the growth.
Business Talk group.
The Business Talk with Fitness Professionals Facebook group. If you're not in that, go join that.
Link in the show notes.
Link in the show notes. Came up, said, hey, I've been doing a paid trial.
Our buddy Ryan
said, I've been doing a paid trial for years and years, and I finally did stop selling it, and things change, right? And you know, and there's a lot of reasons why. And we're going to dive into 4 quick, trial offers that you can use in your gym today. We're going to say pros, we're going to say cons, and we're going to give you our best suggestion of what to do and why.
Yeah. So, we said, I mean, you're probably like, what, dating your clients? You've just flipped it on. Guys, your trial is like your first date, right? This is your first this is your opportunity to woo that new member, right? To show and execute on your promise to them through your trial and with your delivery. And so your trial, not only does it matter on getting somebody in from the front end, we'll dive into what each of these do from a marketing standpoint, but your ability to deliver on that promise is equally as important. So keep that in mind as we go through the different trials and how the client is going to weigh your delivery and how the trial that they're in, it might affect that a little bit based on your ability to perform.
Perfect. And so let's define a trial for a second versus, say, a front-end offer or a challenge. Right? A trial is essentially a trial membership for a shorter period of time, but it's the same exact delivery system they're going to get when they become a member. Very important here.
That's a good point, because I don't know if everyone does understand that, right?
Right. So then you look at what a front-end offer essentially is a trial, but it's not what we call a systematic trial. It might have a name like 21-day fat loss, lean mommy makeover. Challenges are, the lean body challenge, fat loss challenge. All these things are challenges that are within themselves their own program. Mm-hmm. They're not necessarily what you're offering to the regular everyday member. Over here, what we're talking about is the trial. It's for a period of time, for a set rate, either free or paid. We'll get into each one. And then they're getting the same delivery as regular members would be.
Correct. Okay. And to preface that real quick too, be careful if you do find yourself in a position where you don't really have a trial, but you consistently bring people in on a front end offer, and there isn't congruency or the ability for them to have the things you brought them in with as part of your regular services. And I'm thinking like a nutrition program, or a lot of those trials and low barrier offers have like meal programs or meal guides and things like that. You bring somebody in a trial or a short-term low barrier offer, bracketed program, whatever it may be, and then you strip away all those things and you try to sell a membership. That might be one of the reasons you don't have people, moving into memberships and they're just sitting there waiting for your trials.
Okay, perfect.
Just think about that as you're going through.
And I'm going to take a wild guess, but most gym owners want members.
Yeah.
Long-term members in memberships, right? I would probably say 100%.
Safe assumption, sure.
Safe assumption. Okay, so let's get into the 4 types that we are going to talk about today, the pros and cons. Number 1, the free trial. Very, very common. You see marketing agencies run 7 days free, 14 days for free, 30 days for free. There's some definite pros and definite cons. So on this free trial, they do the period of time for free, and then you've got to resell them into a long-term membership on the back end. So you're free up front, selling on the back. The pros, free brings in cheap leads.
Very low friction.
Low friction. I could try it for free. No skin in the game. Give it a shot. Okay. Cons. Two major cons. Number 1, you can bring the wrong people in.
Absolutely.
No skin in the game. There's no reason for them to show up.
I was going to say that if they even, the lead might be generated, you might never even see an individual.
Correct.
Right.
And another con, if that wasn't big enough, is that you've got to sell them at the end. They've gone through your program. And the thought here is they're going to come in for free. They're going to love it. And if they're going to absolutely want to pay money after I gave everything for free, they're going to want to pay money on the back end. Doesn't always work. I mean, yeah, you convert, but it's a tough road. We don't recommend this one.
Correct.
Ever.
Correct.
Ever. Okay. The second type of trial is paid up front, paid convert in the back, meaning 2 weeks of training for $99 flat rate. You pay up front, you get 2 weeks of training. Could be 4 sessions, could be unlimited sessions, whatever you want to put in there. And then at the end of the 14 days, they have to meet with you. You have to say, how'd you like Mrs. Johnson? Great. Let's go ahead and sign you up for an annual agreement at $500 a month or $4.99 or $99 a week or whatever it is. So you've discounted the front end and you've converted them on the back end. So pros. Well, the person's going to probably show up if they pay up front.
Got some skin in the game. Yeah.
Cons, you've got to convert them twice. So you convert them on the front end of the sale and you convert them on the back end of the trial. This is something what we did for years. Yeah. Actually, this was like our bread and butter. Mm-hmm. Let's get people to pay, get some skin in the game.
$89 kickstart.
$89 kickstart. But the big takeaway here is we ran this very systematically.
Yep.
It was 14 days. We had a 14-day nurture sequence. We had specific checkpoints, and it was paid up front. And all of our clients kind of came in on the same way.
Yeah.
And so when they were referring a friend, it was very easy to say, yeah, just do the trial, do the kickstart, do the $99 or $89 kickstart. It was very easy for referrals to happen that way because that's how they all started.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but we're plugging everybody into the same system that our clients and memberships are training with, same anything that they're getting, right? We're not doing additional nutrition consultations or guides. We're not going out and creating something to hook somebody.
Right.
We're plugging them into the same exact thing that our clients get results with. They're just having the ability to be exposed to it at a discounted rate for the first 2 weeks.
Correct.
Perfect.
Yep. It's the membership.
It is exactly.
And, the con there is you sell them up front, sell them on the back end. So that one was a good one. I mean, honestly, it worked pretty well. We haven't run it in years, but it was strong for us.
It was
a strong one. We went from that one and then we changed it to what we call the Netflix trial. Internally it's a Netflix trial. On the exterior, it's this. It's free for 14 days. So essentially a 14-day trial, a 14-day, whatever you want to call it, kickstart, jump start, fast start, strong start, whatever. And the difference between this one and the free one is they have to commit to continuing on day 15 when they come in for their very first time.
Correct.
So it's just like Netflix. For the first time you're signing up for a membership, you put your credit card down, you get some period of, I think it's 7 days.
Yeah, 7.
And then it automatically rolls you into a membership. We love that one because the pro on that one, 2 big pros. You get to leverage free in your ads. It truly is free.
Yeah.
In fact, they could leave on day 14 and never pay a cent. It is free. And you also get their commitment on day 1. So what the cool thing about this one was, again, this was very systematic. During those 14 days, they got everything that a regular member would get. No, nothing extra, nothing, different.
Yeah.
Because the volume of leads were coming in so high, our goal, it was the opposite of what we were trying to do in a normal trial.
Disqualify.
We're trying to disqualify the leads coming in. Mrs. Johnson, let me explain how it works. I saw you had interest in our free trial. What we ask every client to do is we ask you to commit to continuing on before you get started in the trial. During those 14 days, it is free. You get a chance to try us out, see if you love it. Ask us as many questions as you want, try different times. But we ask you to commit to continuing on day 15. Well, is that an issue for you? And if they say, yeah, that's an issue, well then, sorry, that's no problem.
Nobody's getting free training for 2 weeks without the intention of a membership. Exactly.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. That one was very strong for us for years. I would say that one was better than our paid. It was better because we had higher volume. We converted like crazy. We're very adamant on how we spoke to these folks during the trial. We're very clear up front, and we disqualified everybody before they got in on the phone. So by default, the people that are actually showing up, they do have intent in continuing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was almost a better than a $99 front type of deal or Kickstart. The Netflix is strong, and still we would use it today if we weren't doing this last one.
Correct.
The last one is what we call the 2-week guarantee. Now, the 2-week guarantee is very simple. They come in, they sign up for a membership, and they have 2 weeks to change their mind.
Yep.
So they're paying on day one. You sell them once, and you obviously have to stay in front of them for the first 2 weeks. But if they don't want to cancel, they just continue on with the regular membership. We typically sign people up with an annual deal. They have 2 weeks to cancel. But we've also done month to month on the back end. It's all whatever you want. But the point is you get them to commit on day one. You're signing up a member on day one, and the risk removal is 2 weeks to change their mind.
Yeah. And realistically, I mean, I love that because obviously as a looking at the business, it's positioning the business for its greatest opportunity, right? You're not servicing anybody for free or a discounted rate. The member we don't have to change or break the business in order to deliver on what this client's ever actually going to see in a membership. It's very systematic, but it checks all the right boxes in a way.
Yeah.
To your point though, we're expecting them to pay day one. That versus free is going to have less, total volume of leads typically, just the way it is, right? People are more inclined to come in and jump into something for free, even if they're less committed. So there's a give and take. I'm curious. I mean, I know, like you said, the conversions and the things like that, like you guys liked that free version. I wonder what
you mean the Netflix?
Yeah. The free version of the Netflix, I guess I should say. But what about, I'd be curious if we could trace those back and see how long specific clients, you know what I mean? If there was that data left to right on attracting the right type of client, because we talk about the lifestyle clientele, right? And that's something that I want to like the psychology of the individual coming in. Like that needs to be a forethought when you're putting together your trials, front end offers, whatever it may be. What are you trying to expose this person to? What are you trying to get them to commit to? Where are you trying to meet them at? Right? If we're going for free, if we're going for a wide net, as many names as possible, free obviously is going to increase that. But at the end of the day, to the things Tim's talking about, right? Does it increase your conversion percentages into memberships? It's probably going to weaken that.
I knew without a shadow of a doubt globally, because we ran the Netflix trial for gyms when we were an agency.
Oh, yeah.
I knew 8% of total leads became members after the trial was over. So let's run some math. I mean, it made money hand over fist.
Yeah.
Let's just say you were paying $20 a lead, 100 leads, $2,000 in ad spend. 8 people became members at $500 a month.
Run that play as many times as you can.
$4,000, you double your two ROAS. Yes, it takes you into day 15 before you collect. So you have to be able to float that.
That's cash flow.
You just got to have to be able to float that. But if you have a little chunk of, I still like the Netflix play. It gave us way more opportunities. In fact, now that I'm talking through it, in our downturn of the summer, would be a perfect opportunity to change the trial. I was just going to bring that up. I'm glad you did that, because there's no reason that we can't have both in the business, right? No. The standard, and this, you guys listening in, this is us talking through how we would do this for Tim's gym, right? Like it doesn't change what we're doing in the delivery in the gym. By us changing the offer at a time where marketing slows down, we're here in Arizona, a third of our population is out of state for the next few months. We have less people to talk to. So in knowing that, we edit the offer to the consumer, to the marketplace, and bring in the free option, which opens more eyes, more exposure from the less people that are here. Mm-hmm. We get this, we get more people through the front end, gives us the ability to convert. But it's not something that changes the business. We're not doing anything to the delivery. All we're doing is putting ourselves out there a little bit by saying, hey, you know what? The cost per acquisition will be a little bit higher, and we're willing to do so because we know where the return is on the back end. Yep.
That's it. But we know the numbers through and through. We know that versus the paid 14-day version. And that's where the strength comes in.
Yeah.
So
Long-term
you guys can,
data.
and you can have this, you can have multiple options. And I want everybody listening to see that. You shouldn't be jumping from marketing agency to marketing agency, different hook, different trial, low barrier offer, challenge this, all of these things. You don't need to do that to your business all of the time. You're confusing your marketplace. Your delivery system sucks. There's no way around it because you can't create a business around a delivery system that changes every time you change your marketing.
It burns your coaches out.
Your coaches are confused. Your clients, your long-term clients hate you. Because all they're doing is watching you do anything you can for the newest person, and they're the last person getting any time and attention or additions to what you're providing for them because you're over here trying to figure out how to hook the next person. I think that establishing a solid delivery system and then retroing the trial as an exposure to that is your greatest advantage. Yeah, totally. That's what your trial should be, and then manipulate the hook side of it.
The entry fee.
Yeah, there you go. Right? We're not changing what you get. We're changing what we're charging you to do it. And that's it.
That's it. Yeah. It's a great reminder, guys. I mean, this is foundational stuff. This is something that just came up and we just said, you know what? We haven't talked about this in a while. It's very tactical. I know that you listeners, you appreciate tactical plays and not just like global thoughts. So these are 4 options for you. We've given you our best recommendation. Go off and run with it.
And here's the thing, it is foundational, but we're sitting here. Tim's had the gym. What we figure 14 years now, 13 years. This is 14-year business.
Yeah.
Just in this conversation, we discussed potentially changing that trial for certain times of this year. You should be able to do those things in your business at times of need and make those adjustments, audibles, whatever they are, because you know your business this well. It's not like we said, we didn't know all this information. We just brought it back up and then all of a sudden it was like, hey, you know what? Why don't let's go try that again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's still in the repertoire. We're not changing anything for the business.
Well, that's the key. I think the biggest takeaway here is the delivery within those first 2 weeks is no different than any other trial, is all the same, and your membership. It's identical to the membership. So give them twice a week training and then they convert into twice a week training. I mean, the one takeaway that we didn't mention is whatever membership you want them to convert into, that's what you offer in the trial period. So if you're a large group and a semi-private training gym, and you only give them large group training, they're going to convert to large group training. When you give them the thing that you want them to transition into, unlimited personal training, unlimited semi-private training, give them that during the trial. Yeah, you may eat it a little bit on the front end, but at the end of the day, you get the back end conversions. Money's made in the back end. Profit's made in the back end.
We talk about all of what is the biggest advantage of having a fitness facility? Monthly recurring revenue. Right? Everything that we're talking about with the exception of 15 days to recoup your investment to acquire that client. If you have 15 days of cash flow that you can afford.
Well, you're going to have it because that Facebook only bills you once.
And they bill you 30 days.
Well, they bill you on thresholds.
Or in thresholds, you set.
So let's take a really, we'll end it here, but let's just say you spent $50 a day and you're on a $500, whatever, threshold. Mm-hmm. So you have 10 days before Facebook bills your credit card, and then your credit card, you have 30 days to pay it. So if you're already converting at day 15, you still have 25 days to collect revenue before that first bill is due. It's no brainer. Return on ad spend.
Yeah, you could almost be 2 months in to acquire a client. You know what I mean? Like you almost have 2 months of profit from
runway.
From a client coming in. So that's a beautiful thing. I mean, and guys, like you might be listening to this driving and being like, I can't even keep up with the math or like what they're talking about. This is the most rudimentary stuff that we discuss in the business all of the time. If back to the math of marketing, winninggym.com/math. If you do not know these numbers, stop spending money on marketing. 80% of the gyms that we sat down with have overspent on marketing. They didn't know what they were getting for their marketing. It's not rocket science when you have these types of systems in place. Growing a fitness, I said it on a podcast a while ago, when you know what it takes to grow a business, it's not hard to grow a business. The problem is we're throwing throwing everything at the wall and hoping something works. Mm-hmm. When you just know the numbers, you know what it takes to bring that client into the business. It is nothing more than deciding, do I put more money in this or do I not? Run the play. the way that it's supposed to. And just, I mean, it's a system that scales, gives you the ability to outspend your competition, outgrow your competition, and put yourself in a better position than you've ever been as a business owner. That's what it's about.
That's what it's about.
Let's go.
We'll go get it, boys and girls. That's it for this episode. Until next show, keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
All right. And thank you for listening to that episode of the Built to Grow podcast, where we help gym owners win. Now, do you want to connect with me and other gym owners online? All you need to do is join our private Facebook group, Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. Just head on over to Facebook and type in Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. And when you do, we're going to give you our 10 marketing strategies 7-figure gym owners use to win. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, keep building something great.